Hi guys, it's Nia. I know it hasn't been that long since I posted a video of myself speaking, but even though Pride Month has gone by, I do have a really big announcement, a couple actually. And after I make this video, I'm probably going to post a link to it on my Facebook as well for my friends and my family to see. Because very few people know these things about me. So this is my time to tell the truth. Okay, so this is really hard for me to do because not many people know, and I'm really afraid of what people are going to react, but I feel like they should know. I'm not straight. I am pansexual. And a lot of people may say that's fake, that's made up, it's not real. But it is. And the fact that people say that really hurts because that's what I am. And ever since I was a kid, I knew that the way I see people was really different than everybody else. Like, I couldn't have an opinion on a person until I knew who they were, until I knew their mind, their heart. I couldn't tell you if a person was beautiful to me or not. And I felt really weird about it because so many people I knew would have crushes on girls and guys and everything, and they would ask me, oh, is so-and-so cute? Is so-and-so cuter than me? And I'm like, I would just say, I guess, because I didn't know. Because most of the people they were talking about, I didn't know, so I couldn't have an opinion. And me being very young and having been bullied a lot as a kid, I didn't understand what I was feeling, what I was seeing, and it really hurt me because I just didn't know who to talk to, and I didn't know what it was. I felt like something was wrong with me. I'm sorry, I'm already crying and I barely started this video, but I wanted to come right out and say this stuff before anything else because I know there's people in my family who don't support the LGBT community. I know that. And they'll say really ignorant or rude things because they think it's okay. And I don't think it's okay because I'm part of that. And them saying those things hurt. But I don't let them see it. Anyway, okay. I'm trying to calm down, but it's really hard. For me, being pansexual, it's hard to tell people that because a lot of people have not heard of what pansexuality is. And what it is, the literal definition is not having an attraction to somebody unless they know who they are. Just no matter their gender, or the way they identify themselves, it doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter to me. If I love your heart and soul, then that's all I see. And a lot of people don't understand that that's how I see things, and that's how I see people, and that I just can't fall in love with anybody just because of the way they look, or be attracted to someone because I know, oh, they're a guy, oh, they're a girl. There's more than that. And I know there's people who say there's no other genders, there's no other sexes, whatever, but there's things you don't understand and you don't know. It may be rare, but it happens. There are people who are gender fluid, who don't really feel like they're a guy or a girl. They don't fit into either side of that spectrum. And then that's okay. They don't have to. And I could fall in love with a person like that. And then there's people who are intersex or like hermaphrodites. That's something that happens. It may not be something that happens a lot, but it happens. And I could fall in love with someone like that. It's possible. It was always possible. I never really understood what to call it. What to say that I was. Because when I was younger, since I didn't know what I was, I just said that I was straight until proven otherwise. Because I didn't know what else to call it. But then growing up, going into middle school and into high school and learning more and more about the LGBT community and meeting people who are so different and so open-minded, it opened my eyes to what I was. I'm sorry if you can't really hear me. I'm just trying not to like bust out in full-blown tears. And me figuring out what I was, it really helped me. But then I really started to remember nobody's gonna know what this is. Nobody's really gonna care. Nobody's gonna care. So people are thinking she's just saying it for attention because it's the norm now. And the fact is, I'm not. I'm not. This is who I am. And I understand a lot of people aren't gonna understand why I'm the way I am. I barely do. But I've learned to accept myself that way. And just the fact, going into high school, I figured out what I was. And I knew, but I didn't want to tell anybody. So I kept it to myself for a really long time. I truly figured it out when I was 13 years old. When I went into high school and I was a freshman. Is when I truly figured it out. And I really looked at it and I was like, this is what I am. I'm pansexual. That's why I can't ever say somebody is a good person, a bad person, good looking or not, until I know who they are inside. And a lot of people say, oh, I do the same thing, but I'm not, blah, blah, blah. But that's the thing. You can say you don't care about looks, but the fact is you do. A lot of people do more than they think. And I can say that sometimes, yeah, I look at a person and I can say, oh, they look good. But that's not me saying, oh, I'm attracted to this person. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying, oh, they look good. But that's like what I'm seeing. But I can't tell if they're good on the inside until I know who they are. And this is hard for me to say to people at that, because I know that there's family members who are gonna tell me a whole lot of shit that I don't want to hear. And I don't know how supportive they're gonna be. I've told some of my friends, my best friends, in fact, and they understand. I'm so grateful for them because they care about me and the way I see things, and then they understand me a little bit better. And it was a little bit of a shock to them, but then they kind of really thought about it and they're like, yeah, that's you. And I've told some of my family members, the cousins that I spent a lot of my time with when I was young, or ones that I came to see again, that live around me now, that I haven't seen in years, but we rekindled our friendship that we had when we were young, and telling them what I am, and having them say that's okay made me so happy that I wanted to cry on that spot. I'm truly forever grateful for them. because they understand who I am and they understand me. And it was really hard to tell them because I didn't know how they would react being around the people who don't care about the people who are LGBT and they don't believe that any of this is real. But it is. I am pan and I'm proud. I'm just scared. So very scared. Because I don't want to lose anyone because of this. But I can't deny what I am. I haven't for a long time. I haven't denied it to myself. But to others around me, I just couldn't say it until now. I may be terrified of the day I post this, but I will be so happy that I did. Because then I can tell more people about things in hopes that they'll understand me. No, it's only one truth I'm telling. I still have one more. And the second is that I've had a boyfriend for over a year. And he's amazing. He's so sweet and he cares about me so much. And I'm in love with him and he's in love with me. He doesn't live in California. He lives in Colorado. And yeah, people are gonna say, then how do you know you love him? You've never met him. You've never seen him. But the fact is, I've seen him. I've heard his face. I've heard his voice. I've seen his face. I know who he is. And I know that I love him. Because where we met was on a mutual game we had on our phone that you could talk to people. So one random night, I can't even remember the night, that I just needed somebody to talk to. I was bored out of my mind and I just sent messages to people and like, hey, my name's Nia, what's yours? And I was trying to be friendly and most people did not respond or responded and then didn't care anymore and just left it at that because I wouldn't send them dirty pictures because that's what they wanted and it was disgusting. I don't like that and I would never do that. And then I see one person on there who just said hi. And he told me his nickname. At the time, he just told me his nickname. And his nickname is incredibly adorable. But I'd wish he'd use his real name more. Because I love his real name. And I love him. And the fact that that was how we started talking was hilarious. Because we never thought it would get to where we are now. We never thought that would happen. We never thought that that chance message would lead to us falling in love with each other and being together now. We never thought that would happen. But it did. Because at the time that I was messaging people, just trying to get someone to talk to, I was going through a part of my life that I just didn't know what to do. It was hard because I didn't know what I was doing so much because a little over about a year or so prior, I broke up with my ex-boyfriend. And I still talk to that ex because he's my best guy friend. And that's never going to change because he's just my friend. That's all I see him as. There's nothing more behind those feelings to me anymore. And I'm sorry if you see this, because I know you know who you are, and I care about you, very much so. But my feelings will probably never be the same for you, and most likely will not, because I do love someone else, and I'm with him now, and I love him. I'm in love with him, and he's in love with me. And again, he knows who he is as well. And yeah, I've never had a girlfriend or anything like that because I didn't know what I was. So I didn't want that putting a damper on my relationships. So it was hard to figure out what I was. And me finding my boyfriend at the time, I didn't know he would be my boyfriend. I didn't think I would fall in love with someone. But I did. I didn't expect it. And with us, it was a really, I want to say a really crazy way of how it happened. Me and him were just talking, and honestly, most people didn't make me laugh on that game that I had. But the first thing he did was crack a joke and make me laugh. And that enticed me. I love humor. I love people who can make me laugh. Because that's the best thing ever, is laughing. And the fact that he could make me laugh when so few people could just made me that much more attracted to him. And then as time was on, we kept talking like every day. I gave him my kick and he gave me his. We found each other and we started texting every day on that as well. And it was like that for a while. We were messaging on the game and on Kik, and we didn't give each other our phone numbers yet. But we would send like photos like of our face and stuff, and he is gorgeous to me. He's beautiful to me. I don't care that some people will say, oh, he's not even cute, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, who cares? He's not your man, he's mine. And I think he's cute. I think he's handsome, so that's all that matters. I don't care if you don't think he's cute. He's my man, so your opinion is irrelevant. And I've told people that, and they say, okay, no need to be a bitch, whatever, blah, 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 but I'm not being a bitch, I'm telling you this because it's true. He's my man. Your opinion is completely irrelevant to the way he looks, because what I see is his mind and his heart. And that makes him that much more attractive to me because he has a good heart and he has a good mind. And I love him. I really, really, really love him. And that's all that matters. But yes, okay. We would take photos of our faces, whatever, and we would send them and we would say like, oh, blah, 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 you're cute and all that stuff. We would do the normal flirting and stuff before. And I knew I had feelings for him, but prior to meeting him, I had talked to a few other guys and girls and a little bit in between, and nothing came from that because they would 1 second tell me, oh, you're so pretty, blah, 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 I like you, and then not long after they'd ruin it by either saying, oh, since we've been talking for blah, 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 however long it was, can I see blah, 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 some body part that you ain't gonna see. So, and I was like, no. And then they would just try to bait me and saying, come on, we've been talking for blah, 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 and like, you should do that. And I'm like, no. And they were trying to bait me, saying that they would send first. And I was like, I don't care, I don't want to see it. And I was saying no. And they would get pissed off and never talk to me again. And then there was people I talked to on the game who, I don't know why, under the impression, thought I was a little just skinny girl or whatever, I don't know. And I would send them my Kik name so they would see my photo that I had for my profile picture, and then they would never talk to me again, which I assume is because I am a big girl. I know this, and I don't need people telling me that because I already know this. It's like, you act like I can't see with my own two eyeballs. I can see. And I can see that, yes, I'm a bigger person, but I am a beautiful person, aren't I? Yes, I am a beautiful person. And the fact is, you'd be a much more beautiful person too if you didn't judge so quick. So, during all of that, I was so done with people in general for that. And I was praying to God that maybe I would find someone, even a friend, which I had a couple of friends from that. I don't really talk to them anymore since I got a boyfriend, because they started having feelings for me that I didn't know about until after the fact I told them I got a boyfriend. Which I feel bad for. I do. Because I don't know what about me made them like me. I was just being who I was. So I don't know. But since all that bad shit kept happening and people just kept not caring about me anymore because I wouldn't do what they wanted, or I didn't look the way they thought I looked for some reason, and I was like, okay, fine, I don't need you anyway. But it did hurt because these people were doing that for no good reason. So I don't know. I know this video is going to be really, really fucking long, but I would appreciate if people would watch it all, which I doubt a lot of people do. But this is some big things, and yes, my boyfriend doesn't live in California. He lives in Colorado. I've Skyped him. I can see his face in the Skype call, and the same face I see in the photos is the same face I saw through the camera, and that voice I hear over the phone, same one coming out of my speaker. The exact same person, exact same humor. I'm kind of blushing a little bit. Oh my god, you can see it. But he makes me feel beautiful and loved, and yes, he knows I'm pansexual, and he doesn't care. He's extremely supportive of me, and he is proud of me for doing what I do in my life, and he's happy for me that I felt comfortable enough to tell him that I was technically not straight at all. I'm not straight. Because straight is just liking the opposite sex, which I can or I can't. Doesn't matter, because I just like people. If I like you, then I like you. Simple as that. And he understood that. And I'm extremely grateful for him understanding me and loving me as I am. And he's never once asked me to change anything about myself. Never would he. And I don't ask him to change either, because he's perfect. Perfect to me. The fact is, my definition of perfect is different than everyone else's. And he's my perfection. And I hope I'm his. I don't know. But I feel good now that I've told this. And I don't want to answer any questions about it, okay? I told you, I'm pansexual and I have a boyfriend. So you don't need to ask me any questions. Okay? I'm specifically saying this for people on Facebook, because this is where I'm going to post a link. So I'm going to post a link there, as well as posting it on YouTube. So I'm hoping that that is enough truth and explanation on who I am. And I know I probably seem really anxious, because I am. Nobody really knows this. Not a lot of people do. And I'm just telling the whole goddamn world, aren't I? But I'm okay with that. I'm okay now. This weight that I've had on my chest for so long is finally lifted. And I'm happy I did this. And hopefully some of my subscribers, or even some of my friends who have been afraid to come out, feel open enough to do it now. Even if it's to me or to someone else, I don't care. Just, if you feel like you can do it, then do it. you won't regret it. Because you'll finally truly feel like yourself. And I feel like I can be myself more now than I ever felt before. And I'm happy. Well, thank you for letting me vent, because that's what I needed to do today. And yeah, I'm filming this kind of at night a little bit, but whatever. And I guess that's everything. Until next time, which is be in another 4 videos, I hope you guys enjoyed this, and maybe you guys can find your perfection someday. All of you will. I know it. Bye, guys.